So I've been a user group advocate for my entire career. And the reason I love user groups is because that we learn from each other. So here we're learning about the technology that's available and how we can use it. But there's no point using technology for technology's sake. It's important that we understand what we're going to get from it. And I feel a bit nervous here, because yesterday I got to follow Connor, and today I get to follow Abby, which is like hard work. But I've got a secret weapon. I've got customers here who are using it, and they're going to share their stories. We did this last year with just a few customers, and we got lots of interaction and lots of questions afterwards. So this year we've brought it back with a few more. So I'd just like you to start at one end, tell us who you are and the organisation that you work for, and tell us a little bit about your organisation. Okay, but not the technology yet, just your name and...
Okay, thank you so much, Debra. So my name is Khalid El-Deeb. I'm a Service Delivery Senior Manager at Beltone Holding. Beltone is one of the financial services leaders in Egypt and across Middle East, and also we have a presence here in Africa. We acquired a company which is Baobab, which is operating in 7 countries like Senegal, Burkina Faso, and other different countries. I'm managing the Service Delivery Management team and Oracle Fusion team related to the daily operations from the IT perspective, and of course the digital transformation journey across Beltone Group. Beltone have almost 26 subsidiaries. We are specialized in 2 main sectors, which are in investment banking and in NBFIs, non-banking financial institutes. We have some business related to the leasing, factoring, asset management, brokerage, trading markets, and all different financial services, and also other ventures, like we are providing some HR services, and also AI. We have a company which is Robin, which is providing some AI solutions right now. So it's a pleasure to be here and to be part of the customer panel, of course.
That's a bit more than just a bank, isn't it?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tsapanga Manemani. I'm from the Revenue Services Lesotho. So I'm the tax man. So not everybody likes me, but I've accepted. I'm for the service. So so we asked not to talk about the technology yet. I'm just a customer now of Oracle.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Taryn Sawyer. I'm the head of Boundless Academy. It's part of the Boundless group. And at Boundless, what we're doing is we're trying to build digital skills in communities like Soweto. A little different to what everybody else is doing, but I think Boundless is proving that South African digital future is out there, and that by integrating infrastructure, our accredited training, our digital skills, by giving them access to industry like yours, to give them access to entrepreneurial support, we can make a difference. Those people in the township, they are not waiting to be invited to a digital future. They are making that change. And Boundless's mission is to integrate township digital ecosystems with the youth that we train, the disabled people that we support, and we're trying to drive South Africans' digital transformation that way.
So I think that's brilliant. We had that question earlier, didn't we? How do we go from a low bar of education here to a digital future? And that's the sort of initiative that we need for that. Okay, start at this end.
Just go.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Lamb. I'm here on behalf of MTN. I'm responsible for end-user readiness. We've done 8 full ERP Cloud Fusion implementations and 22 EPM and HCM fast-tracked implementations.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Simon Shaw from Blue Turtle Technologies. We're representing Flexera here today, and our customers who use the technology to optimize and manage their estates on their license. Obviously, relevant to all the Oracle people in the room, but across all the vendors. So nice to be here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anna from Tiger Brands. Tiger is one of the leading consumer goods companies in South Africa. We've got iconic brands like Tastic Rice, Energade, Koo, and lots more. We have 43 manufacturing sites, so we're always looking for ways to work smarter and make a positive impact.
Thank you. So what I would want to do now is I'm going to talk a little bit with them about what they're doing, what is the digital transformation, what is it that's making a difference for them in their organizations. And all very different. So let's have a look around about that. So if we're looking at from the application side, Anna, you're using eBusiness Suite. That's one of my favorite. Talk to me a little bit about what you're doing today to make a difference in your organization.
So we were looking for a modern replacement for Oracle Discover. And that's what led us to Blitz reporting. So Blitz has improved our end user experience with quick, easy reporting and very fast uploads. We've made processes faster, reduced errors, and freed up our teams from manual tasks.
So what I love about this is that the excitement when I was talking to Anna before about just how much that was making a difference for her people, right? That's not about, the AI that we've talked about up here or this that we've talked about up there. They are making a difference to their people today where they are. So start wherever you are and make that difference. And I think it is such a good example, explanation of what Enigmatics do or Blitz reporting does, that Andy will be offering you a job, I'm sure. So I'm going to turn to Tastebing now, our tax man here. You were here last year, and you were telling us that you had Fusion, Finance, Supply Chain, HCM, but you were still using eBusiness Suite for your payroll. Now, do you know what? The gentleman next to you was the same, but we'll come to him in a minute. But what's your current project?
We do have our Oracle Fusion in coexistence with EBS. So for reasons of the data sovereignty and data residency, but right now we have implemented Redwood. We want to be ready our platform for AI. And then we have stepped up a bit on our cloud strategy, our cloud adoption strategy, by taking our core tax system, which is the tax administration system, to the cloud infrastructure. And then we have our customs at the frontier level to the cloud as well. So that's basically what we are doing now.
So that's something that I see quite a lot, is people use the technology when they're buying one thing, so bought Fusion, that runs on the infrastructure, and then seeing the value that that's bringing and using the infrastructure for other systems. So bringing everything together and making that easier to use. Now, the gentleman sitting next to you, Khalid, from the financial services that does everything in Egypt, when I was talking to him, his is a very similar story. They moved from SAP about 4 years ago.
Yeah, we have already SAP for the supply chain part and the financial part. Actually, HCM was not fully implemented on SAP, and then we moved totally to Oracle Fusion. But we still had the payroll system on EBS. That was the case. Until like in 2023, we were the first company, let's say in Egypt, and I might be in the region, I'm not sure about Africa also, to implement the payroll on cloud. And of course, it's very challenging because you don't have a localized version which is already dedicated to Egypt or for other countries as well. So we rely on like the package that is already, and we have to make some customizations to meet our business and to meet our end users, of course. And we have already the opportunity to benchmark. Like 2 months ago, we had hosted Central Bank of Kenya because they were looking for some other customers who were already had the same experience moving from EPS to Fusion. And it was, I believe, was something very good and was very fruitful for us. And this is something that I would love to build on, like being here and sharing my experience with other also African countries would be a pleasure as well.
So I'm going to come back to you, because that isn't what we were going to talk about today. But when you told me, I was so excited about that, because I'm going to get this wrong again. Tespang came here last year and shared their story and, you know, talked to other organizations. You shared your story with the Central Bank of Kenya, but you're now sitting next to a gentleman who is using EBS payroll in coexistence, exactly the same as you. That's the value of user groups. How else would you get those conversations, right? So well done, everyone, for being here. You two need to talk, right? But the reason you're here today, Khalid, is because you've got a presentation later where you're talking about another part of Oracle. Yeah. Like, he is a showcase for Oracle technology. The salespeople must love him. But you're currently looking at risk. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's very important, of course, because if you are operating in a financial services, let's say GRC part, which is the compliance risk and governance, is not a luxury anymore. You need to have a full control. You need to have a security in place. You need to make sure that your system is very secured in terms of auditing and regulations. You need to make sure this is already an enclosed system. So that's why it was very important to go for GRC. We are partnering with TRB Global, who were supporting us. We have finalized the implementations for the HCM part, which is by AHC, and then we are moving for the technical AAC and the AFC part. So it's a long journey. I can consider myself Oracle most loyal customer because we have the full employees, full modules like for HCM, finance and procurement, and we even have EPM, which is financial close and consolidation, of course, and budgeting and planning part. So let's say about what we are doing with the systems is all about integration. That's why we are trying to, if Oracle can provide what we have, we'll go for Oracle. This will be always the case. If we cannot find, of course, we are going to find any other solution.
Okay, but I like the fact that, you know, especially in a highly regulated industry, that risk is so important, especially as you move from one system to another.
Definitely.
That we can look at that. So, Taryn, you told us about your objectives and your mission. I want to talk a bit more about the practical side of that. So tell me about the project that you're working on at the moment.
I think you need to understand our business, how it works, and that we get money that comes in from investments, from funding, from grants, and then we get customers who give money from CSI and ESD. And managing all of those on Excel has become a little difficult. So we are really small, and Excel is great. But managing where those funds go, how the customer gives the money has become really, really difficult. So luckily for us, Bluebridge One helped us with a NetSuite implementation so that we could be in the cloud, have everything integrated from our operations to our finance and to the compliance that we need to bring. Because putting all those together and being able to measure the impact for us is really important. Because as I said earlier, we can only show impact if I'm really there inside the community and actually making a difference. So for us, it's important.
But when we were talking before, you told me that as part of this project, that you were not only having your own staff enabled to be able to manage the system for you, but to have additional skills to use. So tell us a bit more about that.
So because we're in skills development, everything we look at, doesn't matter what we're doing, we look to see how can we make a change in somebody's life. So what we've done as part of this installation is that we have given 2 people, we've put them in as interns at our cost, put them onto the project so that they could have 2 years of learning Oracle. And then they would be able to give back to us, whether they're helping us with the installation, helping another client with the installation, and thus broadening their opportunities for employment as well.
I love that, because we're talking about digital transformation, but that's real human transformation, and I really love that. I love that. So learning is your business, but it's an incredibly important part of any of the projects that we have, and it's a great way for it to fail. So Antoinette, would you like to tell us a bit about what you're doing?
Thank you. So the approach that we used for our implementations was that we divided our learning solution into 2 interventions. One was process education, and the other one was system education. We have realized and benefited from the concept that process literacy is the bedrock of your system navigation expertise. So if people understand the why behind the clicks, you're guaranteed to have very, very successful adoption. At this point in our project, we are in business as usual phase, and we still have to keep our learners engaged. So we've created a concept of techno-functional specialists. Very fortunate that MTN is a huge protagonist of processes, and we invite our users to remain relevant and future-proof themselves. So with all of the releases, they are responsible for keeping themselves informed and up to date as to what is that impact on their current skill set. They are well aware that they are employable on a global level, and within the MTN environment, we've got a Pan-African opportunity. So it's dynamic, it's fun, there's commitment, the countries own their learning, and we did go in the beginning, and I must mention this because fear factor is always a good thing. We went on the premise that if you had to log a training ticket at the help desk, it was going to cost your country $100. That equates to a lot of money in Africa. And we would also advertise who those people were who were logging tickets as a result of potentially not having attended the training or not being proficient enough to go into the production environment. So a little bit of the fear factor, but it worked, and I'm happy to say we've had 8 successful full ERP implementations.
Now, Antoinette had a session yesterday, so I hope that if you listen to what she just said now and you thought, well, that means something to me, go and talk to her, or we're going to share our sessions, so hopefully they'll be made available. So Simon, I'd like you to talk about what you're doing and how that's helping people with digital transformation.
Thanks, Debra. Yeah, so, we spoke about regulatory compliance, and I think that's probably why most of you are in the room here today, but what Flexera does is from a compliance perspective on how you use your software that does your regulation. So I think a lot of people struggle with the cost in managing and optimizing how they are using technology, and Oracle is no exception to that. We cover all the major vendors or any vendor you have, and I think the costs involved in managing and controlling those environments become very quickly out of hand if you're not keeping an eye on them. And frankly, the LMS type organizations across all vendors will be approaching organizations going, are you using our software correctly? And if you're not, you need to pay. And when they come and ask you, it's too late, you're going to get a bill. So what we try to do is help you to manage and control that sort of stuff, up front. It's important to say, we represent finance, insurance, utilities in locally in sub-Saharan Africa and Mauritius. So, a wide customer base that are using this type of enterprise license management technology. I've got a list of other things to go on, Debra, but
I think the important thing there is that there are ways to make the most of what you've bought without incurring lots of additional cost. The 2 gentlemen here on the right that are using Fusion, right? I love Fusion. That's what my job is. But out of the box, Oracle suggests that an individual in finance is going to use this much of it. And if you give that role to everybody in your organization, they're all going to be charged for this much, whereas actually this man over here is only using that bit, and another person over there is only using that bit. And so by creating roles specifically for you, you can manage your license. Right? That shouldn't be rocket science, but unfortunately, if you don't think about it, you can end up with that knock on the door that says, we can see what you're doing. Right? And so these things are important to our digital transformation. I mentioned that Antoinette had her session yesterday. Anna, yours is this afternoon. So you're going to talk about how this is helping you and the difference that it's making.
Yes, definitely. At 3 o'clock, I think it is.
Yes. Are you nervous?
I am.
Is this the first one?
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, then this is a practice for you. It's been brilliant. It's been brilliant. I know that Khalil, I think are you involved in this Risk Musketeers thing later on? Yeah, so I know that a number of people, there are some brilliant sessions this afternoon. There is no excuse not to go to one at any time slot. Right? We are here to learn. We are here to learn not just the marketing messages from Oracle. We're not here just to catch up on what happened in AI world. More importantly, we are here to learn from each other. Right? And this session was called, innovation for, what did they call it? Customer Innovation Spotlight. Let me tell you about a real customer, not the customer that's buying that technology, but a customer of the company using the technology, right? So, First Rand Bank, who's here from First Rand? I know there's a number of people. That's it, look at you all waving, right. Okay. They all wanted to come here. Right? There's a small charge for being here. There's a membership charge. So they contacted SAOG and said, we'd like to come. So SAOG have to become a supplier of your bank. Okay? They have a supplier portal, which is provided by Oracle software. And Debra over there, who is petrified, I'm going to ask her to come on stage. She had to log into that supplier portal and set herself up as a supplier, get approved by the bank so that she could invoice them. Okay? She is now the #1 fan of Oracle guided learning that walked her through that process. Okay? So whilst for you, it was digital transformation of your service, for your customer, what a wonderful customer experience. Right? And that's what we're in here to do today, is that we want to make our businesses better, enabled by the technology, not fall into the same mistakes as other people have done, learn from each other, and go away, and each one of us be able to say in our own organizations, I learned this one thing. Now, dear people on the stage, you can see we've still got a few minutes, so you've got 60 seconds each to tell me what's the one thing you've learnt in this conference today, starting with Khalid. What are you going to take back?
So, of course, I was following yesterday the AI transformation, and the partly the session was related to the database and how database is going to be moving, how the querying will changing, and all of these things. It was an impressive session. Of course, I followed also the part related to the financial, how is going the future of finance, and is going to be something very different in the future. The AI integration, of course, with Fusion, which is something impressive, because I'm looking forward for that.
Brilliant.
It's not even about the normal way of how we're going to manage business. It's about the value we are going to deliver from the application. So it was an amazing conference, and I believe second day will be much, much better.
Thank you.
Oh, for me, for us as a tax administration organization, we have to be very confident in the decisions that we make. So we have been thinking how AI can be able to help us come up with decisions that we can say we are very confident and our government is going to be proud of, our people are going to be proud of, and and we are going to increase our performance. You know, we would like to be so productive in our work every day, what we do. So AI is going to help us. If we embed AI in Oracle Fusion, for example, I think it's going to be much better to improve on our processes. Should any process need improvement, AI maybe will help us to improve on the process. Any hurdles that come up with the process, they would be flagged early as possible. And then if anything else has to be on our reporting, it has to improve as well. So if anything has to come up with a report as quickly as possible, then AI would be the one that is going to be.
And I think that's what Abby was talking about today, making sure that AI is going to work for your business and not just, you know, make things worse, really.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Of course. So that is a take home for us and my team.
Brilliant. What about you, Taryn? What's the one thing that you're going to take away?
I'm so glad we're moving from Excel. I spent a lot of time in the leadership, change management, and the process, because we're still at the beginning of our journey, and I want to make sure that we get this right first time, because I don't think I want to do it again really soon.
Well, but that's good. I mean, learning what other people are doing and then moving forward with yours at your pace and getting the right thing for you is the best thing. Antoinette.
Lots to take away, but the thing that's front of mind, and maybe it is because it was today, is the concept of data literacy. I absolutely enjoyed that presentation, and the power of storytelling and using your data to tell that story is key for me.
She's amazing, isn't she? I have to say, she's left the room because my next session is immediately after, and she's gone to set my laptop up for me. So she's amazing just all around. Simon.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to work in a lot of different parts of the world and live and work in different places. And I think, you know, the energy that Africa has and the willingness we have to innovate and drive forward is what you take away. I mean, just all the people here listening and the ideas that come up. So for me, that would be the key takeaway. And obviously, you know, a user group like this facilitates that. So yeah, Deborah, thank you.
Brilliant. And Anna.
To choose one. There were so many. I loved Dimitri's presentations. Abby's today was absolutely amazing. I loved that analyzing the data. But for work, our Tiger Brands is moving forward into AI. So we're trying to implement AI in everything we do. And yesterday's presentation on EPM, I mean, that's a game changer for the team. We have a team that works, there's a huge team that works for hours and hours and hours trying to analyze data, and we could reduce that by helping them install that AI.
And do you know, last year there was no EPM here, right? So, and one of the conversations was, hey, we need EPM, and Bravantia stepped up and sponsored that stream. So now we've had that. So that's what you need to be saying, not just what you loved, but what was missing. So that next year in Cape Town, it can be even better. So I hope that you found this quick look at what people are up to. It was interesting, and I really hope that it was inspirational for you. Talk to the people that are on stage for the rest of the day. And if you have a story to tell, it's not too early to volunteer for next year. And thank you all so much for listening to us today. Thank you. Thank you for being here, people.